The- They drive around, they are pornography. They drive around turned on by having cut off my hair so that it looks this disgusting. I'm used to having long curly hair, but it's all the curls are in the upper hair. And this is like a frizz. So I cannot do anything. I cannot have curly hair. I cannot do anything except trying to keep it down and not flying around like this out in the wind. It's so horrible. I hate it. It's not even a haircut. It's not. It's only cut off to make me look disgusting. It looks like Mette Frederikssen's man hair where she has this very manly, or Elon Musk's mother. And I'm not Mette Frederiksen, I'm not Elon Musk's mother. I think it looks old. Looks like an old woman, someone who is 11 or whatever it's called, who is 100 and 1,000. When I laugh, I'm not laughing with anybody except with myself here, because it's so laughable, so retarded. That's what I'm laughing at. That is so sick, so mental breakdown. Like, it's so sick and so psychopathic to do something like. How can you think it's funny? What about the French Prime Minister? Does he find this funny? That I have this horror here, that they have cut it off, that I've been fighting for my children for 7 years, to do something so sick. It's not my way of fixing hair. I'm not used to having this type of disgust on my head. I'm used to letting it just grow, which I also do, but they have cut it off. Why? Do you think it looks good? It looks fucking horrible. It looks disgusting. And that's to underrate the horror of it. How horrible. I look like an old woman. Like I'm 100 and I don't know how many thousands of millions of years old. Not feminine. Just disgusting and old. I'm not that old. It's been the last 4 years and I look horrible. I can almost not walk outside because it turns someone, obviously. They think it's laughable, that it's so disgusting what they themselves have done. It turns them on, dicks, they look. I cannot imitate it because they don't look firm in their face. They don't have like expressions. It's like a blur, like a psychosis blur. That's what they look like, a psychosis of pornography. That's what it looks blurry. It doesn't look like a firm expression. It is so horrible. I'm not that disgusting. They have turned me into the disgust of Denmark and the disgust of, I don't know how many are in on it, a part of hating me and thinking I'm so disgusting, which I am not. And they're going to have to pay some kind of compensation, which it seems a bit opposite, but I'm not a hooker, for not being able to have anything to do with man again. It's not that it was my business, but it's that I wanted so many children. I wanted to be pregnant more than once. I have 2 children. I've waited for them for more than 7 years now. And I wanted to be pregnant, give birth to several more children, like maybe 5 children. And so that in total I would have 7 children. It's not going to be, I'm not going to have anything to do with man again intimately. I feel like it's looked on as, well, but it's not true. It's only in the heads of the psychos. I'm not a disgust. I'm not a pedophile. They treat me as if I'm a pedophile to be chased around in the country, as if I'm a violent psycho when it was the father of my children and they let him win, even though the father of my children got a verdict for violence against me in front of my son before my daughter was born. And then there was the time when he threw me to the floor for not stuffing his dick into my mouth. I assume that was why, because that was what was the topic when he did. And the police told me if my son doesn't remember what my son said about violence and abuse, then it didn't matter, because I reported it as well to the police. They haven't done anything about this. It has piled up all the crime against my children and I, and they have not done anything about it. So my children are to be delivered back to me when I go to pick them up. It's taken too long, and they are to be punished, and then the government and all the institutions for their corruption, especially the courts and the judges. They are very satanic and sadistic.